everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Wisdom Within. I'm joined by the wonderful Giorgia in my home, which is so nice because I haven't actually done a recording yet in my house, so this is very exciting. And she is the founder of ZenPass. I really wanted her to come on and talk about this because I think it's an amazing platform and I'm so excited to now be a part of it. And so I wanted to invite her in so she could just talk about how it began and what it is. So if you just want to say hi and then maybe just start telling the story of how ZenPass was founded and created.
Absolutely, and thank you very much for being here today. Like the house is wonderful, so super excited about this. My name is Giorgia. I come from Italy, moved here 4 years ago, started my career in finance, and let's say that during that period, I realized that like life can be a little bit more impactful and meaningful, and I've always been into spirituality, and during this period of mental breakdown, kind of depression, stress, I was helping myself through holistic health. And this literally can range from, like normal meditation to more energy healing type of practices. And this was so transformative for me that I say it's why doesn't everybody really like do it? And what are the issues that kind of like block people from trying these practices? So let's say that this was the reasoning behind the birth of ZenPass. And with one of my best friends, Roberta, we were talking about this and we realized that people are happy and they want to like heal themselves or, work on their self-development, self-care, but they don't really know where to start from sometimes. And with these issues and ideas in mind, we said we should really create a space that is a community-based space where people can feel safe, they can feel part of a community, but at the same time they can work on their self-development. And so this is what ZenPass is. It's a community-based holistic wellness platform where we connect holistic wellness practitioners with customers, and customers can basically experience so many different types of practices that are online or in person or even at their own. And these practices range from yoga, mindful movement practices to life coaching and spiritual coaching to energy healing, but you can also find massages, holistic body work. So let's say it's quite varied. And when I think about what are the challenges that people really are facing nowadays when finding these practices, I mean, the main thing that came when we started this research and like literally asking people was that they didn't know who to trust and where to find like trustworthy practitioners. And so we say it's crazy that we live in a world where everything is literally just one click away. Like if you want to travel, you just go on booking.com, for example. And we're like, why can't we create the space that when you think about holistic health, you just know that you can go on ZenPass and find anything you're looking for. And so with this idea in mind, we also realized that a second issue was that people need to trust the practitioner. And I think this is so important because at the end of the day, you're just opening up to somebody else, right, that is helping you in your healing process. So you want to trust that person.
Yeah.
And so we really envisioned process where we verify all the practitioners. So verifying their credentials, trying to meet them in person, to try all of their services and practices beforehand, so that you can be guaranteed that we try to deliver the best experience.
Yeah, amazing. I think this practice is so needed and this platform is so needed because, yeah, I think so many people want to get the help, but they don't know where to go. And I think, especially when you're in that low space, you don't really have the energy or bandwidth to like go through and search and try things out. And also, I think so many people aren't aware of like what different services there are out there as well. I think people have a very like narrow vision of what services and things that they can do to improve their lives.
Yeah, and like on top of that, there is another big issue that is the stigma that there is still around some of these practices. And this is super unfortunate because when you think about, Australia or the US, they're always more advanced than us and people are more open. when you think about Europe instead, you realize that people still associate some of these practice to, black magic or religious type of
Mm,
like rituals and things like these. And that actually creates a big barrier that we are trying to break
mm,
by this like, educational effort that we are starting at ZenPass. So we are trying to educate people about these practices because, I mean, at the end of the day, we have people asking us, what is a sound bath, for example, or what do you mean with energy healing? And
mm,
I'm not surprised that they ask this because when you think about it, no one of us, like in the UK, in Europe, I'm from Italy, not even in Italy, is taught about what is energy healing, how to take care of your minds, how to
mm,
practice mindfulness since you're young. And so we are really trying to, bring this little revolution also by educating and demystifying what these spiritual practices really are and trying to give them the positive connotation that they have in other parts of the world, like for example Asia or Australia, as mentioned. They are like the biggest and greatest examples potentially. And let's say that this is a big part of what we do, but on the other side, and what we're really passionate about is also helping holistic practitioners on the other side, because they are also people who are so kind and passionate about all of these, but they don't really know sometimes how to find their clients or how to manage their business because they are most of the time just people following a calling, but they are maybe not very uh, business savvy, let's say.
yeah.
So we are trying to create this infrastructure also for them to, in a way, like help, manage their clients and give them like some business advice. So on the one side, we are creating a community for customers, but on the other side, we're also creating a community for practitioners.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's like what ZenPass is basically.
Yeah, I think that's so amazing because I think, as a healer myself, you'll kind of have this expectation to like be a content creator, be good at marketing, know how to like create all aspects of a business, attract clients, and it's like so much energy goes into that so that you can serve.
Yeah,
But actually, like that's for most people not the part that they necessarily enjoy. And so
absolutely.
I think that's just so amazing. So it's so nice to be a part of it and also have that community aspect as well.
Yeah, that's very important for us. I mean, we when we started at first, we were like, how can we make these different to, other solutions that there are around? And we realized that talking to people, we realized that everybody's like willing to try something new, but at the same time they want to feel supported by their friends, or they want to see that other people they are in this journey with are also doing similar things. Because when you think about it, it's like such a transformative journey, and you can also feel scared when you start to, like deal with all of your inner child traumas or toxic traits about yourself, or you have your spiritual awakening. These are things that can be extremely deep, and I talk about these from a personal perspective because when I went through that, I was super lonely. Like none of my friends were actually into a similar path. And it really took time for me to realize that it's okay in the sense that not everybody in the life is going through the same things at the same time. And it's not supposed to happen, but it's good to have instead a community, a group of people that can resonate with you, that
Mm,
in this specific period of their time, of their life, they're going through a similar journey as you. So let's say that with this experience in mind, we say it is great if we create these spaces where people can share, can like support each other, can ask questions, answer questions, and ourselves, we can also talk about our experiences. And this is how we started is like big community. We meet up every week. We go out for like a wellness walk, and then we go to events together. And people are super like supportive and passionate about that.
mm,
And our goal is, of course, to grow it as much as possible. And as mentioned, like kind of creating a little revolution in a sense, saying that you don't need to be considered ill or different if you are working on your self development, mental health.
mm,
You're just like actually brave, and you need like to understand that there are other people who can support you and
yeah.
you can support at the same time.
Yeah, I love that. I love what you said because I think so many people think like only when you hit an absolute rock bottom or like are very sick that's when you should like get help, as opposed to like, you know, I have my parents being like, why are you so into this? Like, there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, why would you wait till it gets to that? You know,
Absolutely.
like it's about like really tuning in and listening and like using every external experience that you have or internal experience as a mirror into something that's trying to be seen.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when you think about it, when you think about, for example, the definition of stress versus anxiety, right? So, stress is like an immediate reaction to a threat or a situation, and you feel like immediately stressed. Anxiety, instead, is when this stress continues to like aggregate and aggregate over time up to this point where you cannot function normally anymore. And you want to like solve the anxiety issues not when it's too late, but when it's starting, in the sense you want to deal with like stressors, which can be different types. I mean, stress can be physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress, but you want to work on it when you are still in a phase where you are able to make decisions. For example, as I mentioned, when you don't have like a huge issue, and how you do it is by integrating these like mindful techniques, for example, breath work, meditation, sound baths, or by doing energy healing, which for me personally has been so transformative. I can't lie, I do like at least once per month a Reiki healing session to rebalance my chakras, and that's amazing. So it's very important what you say, right? You don't need to hit rock bottom to say, okay, let me explore what this is about. It's actually like a preventative form of self-care.
Exactly. And like some people's journeys start by hitting that rock bottom, but I'd say like there's no shame and there's no loss in working on yourself. And I always ask people at the end, because the show's called Wisdom Within, what piece of wisdom do you feel like is wanting to come out for the people listening right now?
Well, I would say it's very important to like be a little bit more mindful about your lives and understand that we are here in this life just like learn and enjoy and to grow as people ourselves. So personal development is something very important. So I always say try to find some space to integrate some of these practices, and this can be as small as like 5 minutes, 10 minutes meditation per day, up to big things like going for like weeks on retreats or these sorts of like experiences. But I really recommend that. And of course, ZenPass can be a great space where you can find some of these tools. And so yeah, that's it. Like work on yourself. Don't forget about prioritizing yourself. It's not something selfish. It's something actually that help you even helping other people.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye. To view my ZenPass profile, just click the link that I'm going to post below, and all of my upcoming workshops, retreats and offerings are all there. Just as a reminder, this weekend I am hosting an Alchemy Within workshop. Next weekend will be a Connection to Self workshop, and I've also just dropped a very intimate yoga class that I'll be doing weekly. So be sure to check everything out and follow my Instagram and subscribe to this podcast to stay up to date. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'm sending so much love. Bye!